another episode of Industrialist. Today, well, as you can see by the title, we're working with more oil. Now, I know it's been quite annoying because it's been power research, power research, power research. But we shouldn't have to make more power for the next couple of episodes with this plan. Today, we are going to use, I should have put it up here first, but we're going to be using fracking oil with acetic acid because if we put it into, you know, the atmospheric distillation plant, we also make the water-free gas. The amount of water-free gas that we get from this will give us more than enough to run the two oil fracking towers, but then a whole lot more to use for other projects that need acetic acid. So, and then it will also give us diesel, which will combine with some of that acetic acid to make gasoline E10 for just like a bunch of resources, gasoline E10, 13 times the RP, or we sell it. Anyways, there's also residue heavy oil. So five resi no, 5 heavy oil a second, 10 light oil a second, 90 water-free gas a second, and a bit and extras. Anyways, for starter business, 2 oil fracking towers. I've done the math, so let's get into it, I guess. So there's an extraction tab in tier 3. Anyways, I guess we can put it right here. So we need 2 atmosphere or fracking oil. We need 2 of these things to make the required fracking oil, which is going to come out of this. But we also need the required ingredients, such as 4 sand a second, um, 4 acetic acid a second, 8 water a second, and 40 steam a second. So, give me a minute whilst I make most of it. Alright, after double checking my work and making sure that I had everything, we have the water, the steam, the sand, and the acetic acid. You might be wondering, why do I only have one plant when I should have 2 fully functioning ones instead of one working at like 25? That is because we are also going to be producing a whole bunch of... Wait. Oh, after this step, we are going to be producing a bunch of water-free gas. We refine it once, combine it with a couple ingredients, and then boom, it's acetic acid. Like everywhere. Or, well, first it's ethanol, then we oxidize it into acetic acid, but it's not important. The important is that it's all done. Now we just hook it up. So, with a snap of my finger, it will be. Alright, that was a lot of typing, but definitely nothing too hard to do. Alright, when we do make the acetic acid from the water refined gas, it's going to be just inputted right there. The line's already built and piped. Why remove it when it's all done? Plus, we always have emergency stash. But you never know. Anyways, now goes at all of that goes into one atmospheric distillation plant. Now, it might have looked like it could have been nice. Like, it could have gone into two. No, it's a singular plant. We place just like that. Look nice. No, don't like the clipping pipes. Yep. Alright. That was the that was the easy part, was making the fracking oil. The hard part is dealing with everything. You got residue, which is we can deal with that right now. I'm not rich enough to just dump it yet. Alright. Then heavy oil. Won't be too hard. Light oil. Won't be too hard. Naphtha. It's producing too little to use it. Unless I want to make rubber. We can actually look at that real quick. Just any naphtha. No, actually, I can only use it in an atmospheric distillation plant. So yeah, no, everything's. No, that's what this is. Chemical plant. In which we would have to unlock an ammonia. Whatever that is. Chemical plant. And we got the gas, which I said we're going to combine with some of that stuff. And then crude oil. Crude. Ah. Let's go in. Let me take you to the creative world to show you how we're going to deal with heavy oil. For a bit, I do have our plan. Alright. So we're getting all of our oil from the atmosphere, these two things going into this thing. Then we're going to store our naphtha and our residue, but we're going to send out everything else. All the gasoline will go into 5 research stations to boost research production. All of the LNG will be sent over here and sold off. I found out that oxygen requires HB and no matter what, or it requires something we can't research, or it requires 20 mmf. Anyways, selling the refined gas, we are sending all of our light oil into 15, or technically from this, 10 light oil, these things, and then 5 heavy oil, or 10 of those, 5 heavy oil separators, and this creates enough light oil to supply one more light oil separator, which turns it up to 11. The other 4 is gone, and then we take all the crude oil from all 15 light oil separators, and then we also take the light oil, or the crude oil from this thing, send it all into this big old machine, store the sulfur and coal coke for later use, pocket the residue, and then send off the light oil to go be created for more um, crude diesel, or crude oil, and light oil. Then we will be combining some of the machine oil made from the heavy oil. Okay, just let me pull it up real quick. Oh, that's basically what it's used for. We're just turning it into machine oil to combine with these 15 to go into 3 separate IDRs, industrial diesel refinery, which will make a total of 5.4 refined diesel. Let's get to making. Brush fix in our acid, which you can tell by the subtle glare. It is a full 4 acetic acid a second, I think it was. Whatever the requirement was, it's met now. Yeah, it was 4 now. 1 full, 1/3. Pretty easy. Anyways, first order of business, something that's instantly obtainable. the heavy oil. Um, yeah, that's not the right one. Um, yeah, nah. Here it is. This thing. Alright. Alright. I say next step, we we use our gasoline. Actually, no. I want that to be our last step. This step. Mm, let's see. How far would we go? Pretty far. It seems not easily divisible. Um, hmm. 3 rows of 5. Pipe all of this, and then pipe all of our crude diesel into the other 5. Pipe the 10, or the, yeah, pipe the original 10 through this. Just put it right here. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. And that is light oil, guys. Um, let's see. Next up, store naphtha, which we can do actually right here. Yeah, alright. Look at that. Gas. Still waiting. Actually, no. I'm gonna see how much space I'm taking it first. Water-free gas. Um, I still don't want to do that one. Right. Actually, yeah, let's just do it real quick. Get it out of the way. I mean, this is. I mean, I don't even have to speed this up. It is literally just a gas refinery. Whoops, I was thinking. Oh, yeah, dog. Now, if we just send that to a cell station, the liquid cell station, so maybe I have to research another one. Some of your. Go fuck yourself. I mean, this is like. I haven't sped up for a long time. This is probably gonna be sped up. That's really all that goes into this kind of thing. No talking, just lock in. I mean, it's just remembering everything without constantly traveling to the other thing. Like, boom, that's gas. Now there's two things left, in which one is the big one. Hmm. I mean, like, actually, yeah, huh, it is. Yeah, crude oil, light oil, code, residues. God damn. Okay. Yeah. No, because that's okay. All right, let's get to building this. All right, and that is all of the light oil finally. Yeah, we're not even gonna do. We're not even gonna touch the gasoline yet. We are going to. Um. Well, I guess let's pipe all the residue and crude oil and machine diesel out. It's about time. All right. Let's get to it. Alright, I don't know if you guys saw in the speed up, but we got residue, and then we've got machine oil and residue. So here's our idea. We're gonna do one that's right here. We're gonna do fluid intersection. I guess another fluid intersection. Let's see. So split that right there. Split that right there. So send this one off, but continue this one over here. And boom, that's our two separate pipes. See? And then we just pipe it through, and this is our machine. That's our machine. Machine, or no, that is our machine. Yeah, our diesel. This is our residue. So residue. Can't do that. What you can do is that. Oh no, this is smart. Watch. That gets sent through there, that gets sent to there. Our residue also gets sent over there, but that gets separated, put over there, put right there. Place our other two things. Let's see, what is this? Our light and crude oil. Send that back out. Send this all the way over. Send that out. Take this, put it up here. Send the residue further up. Boom. And that's what it looks like without any arrows. That is mildly annoying. Anyways, let's speed up the video. decisive time. We finally have all of the light oil districts emptied. Of course, we still need to add the the, the one singular, or well, still need to grab the five. Oh, let me think. Five residue can all pile up over here. Light oil can all pile out of here, but over. It's just like come through here. Am I making two or one? Light oil. Let's see, we are turning heavy oil. Just one. There are piles of five. So what is making nine? What's making four is the question. The other thing is making four. And so I get to put it right here. Right here. And so due to that fact, I would like to disconnect that, disconnect that, disconnect that, place in this, place in this, damn it, okay, move that, place that back, that, because if I'm correct, the big thing right there is producing 10, that one's producing 4, those 5 things back there are producing 1. So if we move the 1 from right here, sit from right there, that one won't build up, this one won't, like, break down. And that one will still get to empty. And then we can still easily pump out the machine oil. So I guess let me finish up piping. After all of that, we now have mm, mm, yeah, let's just hold on, let's just fuel the gasoline real quick. It's like the last thing. It's practically the last thing. So, and that is the research station's done. Now y'all see why I decided to do it after everything's placed. If I decided that was the first thing placed, they would have gotten that row right there. Should have shoved that a lot more outwards and a lot more difficult piping. It's like my largest build yet. Actually, my steel farm is pretty big. It isn't working properly right now. I need to add some more trees later. But for now, it makes enough with stutters. Anyways, next step, diesel generators. And now I kind of want to make that over here. Except all the ingredients are, let's see, right here, right there, and right here. So, literally across the map. Except we do have an equal point right here, 2 pipes through here, over here, come through here. Yeah, actually, now we have. Do the other pipes have enough room to get out? Yes, yes, they do. So, yeah, I guess make them over here. you guys can watch the placing, but I ain't gonna make you watch everything else. It's not much goes into this process. Literally. See? Like I said, nothing much. So yeah, it's a residue, but it's also hella. Okay, so I like to look at it this way. I'm gonna explain D math. 1.8 times 3. Hold on. What is daily blood doing? Let me calculate. Here's blood. Alright, 9.8 times 3. 5.4 diesel a second. Good. And that's zero point 0.6 residue, except I'm gonna have to expand my scrubber setup. But we just unlocked. Hold on. I need to be correct. We just unlocked HV. So that also means that we unlock. Well, now we can do our mine shaft. But the bigger thing was the water thing. Distilled water. It is in our holy shit, atmospheric distillation plant. Same thing that we're using right now, except it uses 258, 150, 25 water a second. But we get hella distilled water. You know, that amount of distilled water would turn this little bit of scrubbers from 9. Let's see, what's 9 times 9? 81. 810% better. Or no, it's minus 90%. 720% better. So, you know, 720%, it's a lot, you know? Anyways, of course, we have to make the power for all of it. In which, that's our power source right there. You see that big old battery? Yeah, originally I was testing out a diesel engine, which is right here. Here's our setup. It's 5. Let's see, 0.125. Of course, we can run it more. 11. But start draining it. That's because we have a bunch of extra. It's gonna go down. I'll continue back when it goes down. Alright. After like about a minute or two, we find our true answer. Burning 5 cylinders at 0.125 with 11 air to fuel ratio, 1.5 mil. Of course, we're gonna let that run for a bit, so that way we have remotely enough power to boot this up. Because I don't know, off rip, it's like 2 million, maybe 3 million. No, about 4 million just to power up the first 4 machines. I mean, that is the sulfuric acid plant, the atmospheric distillation plant, and the fracking oil makers, and the sand, and the oil. I don't know the one. Okay. What I'm trying to get is, um, flooding plants. They take a bit of power, and they're also like annoying taking a power. So I would always say that you should always checking diesel. You should always thinking what I was trying to say. Um, well, I should a thought. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Playing Minecraft in my room, but I'm slowly being poisoned by carbon monoxide. Anyways, let's get it. I just realized I forgot to repress the record button when placing all those pipes down. I don't think you guys wanted to watch anymore. Fast forwards. But it's all done. I don't even remember when we stopped recording. Anyways, I want to try out something new. Because I've been having problems in my other factories. Places slowly running out of, like, they're running out of power. They're just running out of resources too fast. So, with 1 mmf per node and toggleable, I was thinking, why don't we just use a breaker box? Like, one line goes to the making of acetic acid, sand, and water. Another line goes, or no, those things will always be powered. So this thing would have these two would have their own line. This thing would have its own line. All 5 of these would have its own line. All 15 of these would have its own line. Those would just run. And then we get another box to control this. We have another line to control this. So total of 2 breaker boxes. But I do think that breaker boxes will help us out more in this run. So like, I don't know. Put a couple down right here. Oh yeah, let me connect up the power. So the basic shit all done. You have to watch our power though. I don't know how strong that yellow one is. Anyways, fracking oil. Can our 2 things go into one line? Oh, hell yeah, they can. Alright, well, let's grab our first box. Yellow. Yeah. Let me connect up the rest of them, I guess. It is finally all hooked up to power. At least there's a hope. I don't know. I hooked everything up to a breaker except for the main systems. It's like everything but like these two water things, in which I'm pretty sure I forgot to hook up. No, I didn't. This soil excavator, the acidic acid factory, like you guys, I don't know if you saw it because it went too fast, but I put a sign on it saying main resources. Except I also connected a red line to that. But that's so I could go power the gas refinery to go sell it for more. I mean, I have two lines turned on. That's to get rid of the gasoline and the gas. Everything else, I want at least a bit of a buildup. But having four lines, just like that, everything is ready to be hooked up. Except everything is right here. There's a reason why we save up an entire GMF. It's because we are supposed to only produce 1.5 million, but I think just our atmospheric distillation plant. Let's see, oil fracking uses 625. What? That takes up so much power. And IU. Hmm. Wait. No, it's this stupid crude oil thing. Watch, look. Yeah, 2.5 right there. Just right there. But that also gives me, you know, it gives us our third thing of gasoline production, in which a third thing of gasoline, or not gasoline, diesel production. Yeah, that can boost us by like another 20, maybe 30-ish million. I don't know. But I guess let's get into making powder now. I'm pretty sure you guys were able to see it, but we got four diesel engines. One of them going to that breaker, the other one going to this one. Okay. And then one of them heading to this one, and this one to be calculated. Now, all we gotta do that is figure out how much power we got. The whole GMF. Alright, let's very quickly get that up. And with this wire, may there be light. I can see the pumps moving already. loud warning, I guess. Alright, give me a moment whilst I diagnose problems in step 1. Lucky me. Literally nothing worked. All of these were all their inputs were improperly piped in. So when the original startup happened, nothing happened. And then I found out 3 of them, like 3 of the plants, weren't piped up correctly to the oxidization plant, so I had to fix that. And then I found that the steam didn't work, so I had to fix that real quick. And then I also forgot to hook up the sand. So literally almost everything that could have gone wrong happened. At least I'm not like kibitz. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna look for a bit, find out which one to power on. It is the yellow one for step 2. Would you like? Would you look at that? Oh. What did I just power? I power on the wrong yellow. Yeah, I did. No. I have them mixed up. That's gonna be lovely. Anyway, step 2 completed. Step 0 failed. Anyways, I'll tell you guys if I find any more problems. This time I'll actually record it. Alright, we're all good. We're building up even. Alright, phase 3. I know it's weird, but instead of having it all across, I literally have it step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Which is, it should make more sense if I didn't have my wires all crossed up. Anyway, heavy oil. Yep. Alright, cool, they're on. Except, not for long. That means something over here has filled up, and how much you want to bet it's light oil. See, nope, gas, water. What the big? Did I already use an entire GMF? Holy shit. Alright, change of plans. I'm going to work on this a bit to try to get it up and powered. I didn't realize how much power this uses. Anyways, guess I'll see you guys. Alright, after all this complex setup, with 13 air to fuel ratio and 74 throttle, we get a total of 1.4397 mf a second. The factory is finally fully done after, like, I don't know, 7 days of playing and getting it to work. It took a long time, but it takes 3 generators to power itself. Has 4% fuel left, but I can't get it. If I take it down to a 12, I can't get enough power to make it worth it. But I don't know, it seems really good to me. Making less power. Anyways, catch y'all in the next episode. Thank you for watching this one.